All right, good morning, everyone. Want to welcome you to Fire Station number 1 on North 6th Street here in the city. And behind us, we have an amazing team of volunteers from Deloitte that are doing all kinds of wonderful projects around our fire station. There's also a group from Deloitte at Fire Station number 2. They're doing essentially the same projects out there, painting and tan barking, fixing up the courtyard that's in the center of the building. We'll take you around so you can see some of the work that's being done. And again, this is part of Deloitte's Day of Impact. They're working not only here in the city, but across the region and across the country, giving back to nonprofits and fire departments and things like that. It's really part of what giving in community is all about. Back in the day, the fire station was always the center and hub of activity in the community, and it's just fitting that Deloitte's coming out today and giving back to that hub in the community and fixing us up a little bit from some of the neglect that we've had over the years. And the city's put a lot of money back into fire stations over the last 4 years or so, and these couple of cosmetics are really going to make these buildings stand out again. And we welcome and hope that the community and public want to come in, and our doors are always open. Please come in. These are the community's buildings, and we invite the community in, and hope that we can be more interactive with the community, having community meetings and things like that here as well in the future. So without further ado, I want to turn it over to Brian Holwig from Deloitte for a few comments.
Great. Chief.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Chief Enterline and Mayor Papenfuss. It's quite an honor for Deloitte to be here with you today, working here for our Day of Impact. A little bit about what Impact Day is. Impact Day is Deloitte's annual National Day of Community Service. This is our 18th annual Impact Day. One day that celebrates Deloitte's year-round commitment to service and giving back to the communities in which we live and work. Today, around the country, Deloitte professionals will be in over 80 cities to work on over 1,000 projects, giving nearly 190,000 hours of service. Here at home, in the Mid-State, the firm is delighted to demonstrate its commitment to the city of Harrisburg and the surrounding region again this year. Last year, about 200 Deloitte volunteers worked at the Martin Luther King Jr. Government Center, cleaning, power washing, cleaning out old furniture, scrubbing floors, ripping out carpets, and painting offices. Today, you'll see over 850 volunteers from Deloitte's Harrisburg, Camp Hill, and Mechanicsburg offices working throughout the capital region, at the city's 2 main fire stations, and at 26 other local nonprofit sites to perform a variety of services. We are excited to be teaming with the Harrisburg City Bureau of Fire for the first time. The Bureau provides vital emergency services to the city of Harrisburg and the surrounding metropolitan area. And today we have more than 100 volunteers performing extensive maintenance and repair work on fire stations 1 and 2, including painting of the front door bays, landscaping and courtyard cleanup, washing windows, cleaning fire truck apparatus, and performing interior work. In addition to that, we have a Deloitte team focused on assisting in writing grants to identify funding to purchase badly needed safety equipment and training for the men and women of the fire department. Again, what's important to us is making an impact that matters. It's a core value for Deloitte. It's what gets us up in the morning and drives us to work harder for our clients. By making an impact that matters, we can help change our communities and the world for the better. Thank you for having us here today. We greatly appreciate it and look forward to continuing to work with the department. Mayor Papenfuss, I'll now turn it over to you.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I want to turn and thank all of you for coming out and dedicating Impact Day here in the city of Harrisburg. You are making a difference in Harrisburg. You have been making a difference in Harrisburg. And thank you for recognizing that service is at the core of a vibrant and growing city. You know, it wasn't long ago that Deloitte, which is a major national and international consulting and financial services firm, chose to move its regional headquarters right here into downtown Harrisburg. And they occupy an entire floor in the 30 North 3rd building and now have 220 jobs in the city of Harrisburg that we didn't have just a few years ago. And what's it like working in the city of Harrisburg? Do you like it? Absolutely. And that's because working in the downtown, you can walk and enjoy all aspects of city living. And it's part of a resurgence of the downtown, which really mirrors the resurgence, I have to say, of the Harrisburg Fire Department. You know, we just hired a brand new class of firefighters. We have built up our complement incredibly well over the past 4 years. We've started to invest in our stations, and to have this added boost by all of our friends at Deloitte really means so much to both the city and the department. Now, you can see the mulching, you've seen the power washing. I understand from Chief that we're going to culminate today's activities by painting these dull brown entry doors a bright, appropriate red for the fire station. And that's going to be a mark that everyone will be able to see. I want to emphasize what's already been said, which is not only do we have 100 volunteers right here in Harrisburg at each of our 2 main fire stations, but we also have volunteers back in the corporate headquarters right now, literally writing grants to help procure what will hopefully be tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in much needed funding to help support the fire department. So Deloitte is not only taking its sweat, equity, and its labors, but it's also helping us with their expertise right now as we speak. And we are incredibly, incredibly appreciative of that. And one last thing, as you look around here on the 6th Street corridor, we're in the midst of a corridor which is ripe for economic development and is readily changing. We have the mainstay of the fire station and the Red Cross and Homeland, which have been here forever, but soon we're going to have a brand new archives building just across the street down a block. And we're going to have, finally and at last, after many years of planning, a brand new federal courthouse. And those 2 major projects, one by the state government, one by the federal government, are really going to lead to a whole ripple effect of new investment on 6th Street. We're also planning a major redesign of the street, which is part and parcel to changing 2nd Street down near the river into 2-way traffic, making that more residential, making this have more of a commercial feel. So big things are happening in Harrisburg. At the heart of all the good that's happening is commitment to service by city workers and people that appreciate the city just like you all. So thank you, Deloitte. And with that, we will go back to Chief Enterline and we'll take some of your questions.
All right, again, thank you to Deloitte and their team, the mayor and his support. And at this point, we'll take any questions for either the mayor, Deloitte, or anything about the fire department.
Just talk about kind of what this does for you guys as far as not having to use your time to do this type of update maintenance work, but I mean, to be able to do life-saving.
Yeah, so I mean, the hundreds of hours, man hours that are being put in today are relieving our guys from doing a lot of this work and allowing us to focus on the training and the things that we need to do, as well as the increased call volume that we've seen over the last number of years in helping our regional partners on a daily basis. And so this really is a big thing. And I think once we get over this, it'll be easy to maintain. It's just a matter of being able to dedicate an entire day to do it is very difficult in the schedule of the department.
And let me add, and they're out on a call right now. As the Impact Day was going on, the call came in. They're dealing with an incident along the river, and so I think we got to see firsthand the dedication to service that our firefighters have.
I think there's a cost savings too to have volunteers.
Yeah, absolutely. And I neglected to say, Deloitte purchased nearly all the supplies. So the paint and all the sundry items that they're using here today were purchased through Deloitte. We did have a great donation by Nye's Nursery and Landscape. They donated several triaxles of tan bark for both Station 1 and Station 2. So essentially, this is nearly a zero cost for the city. So it is huge in our budget, because the money that we'd had to spend for labor to paint or for the tan bark, we can now put into other projects that we have and be able to accumulate that money to be able to do a big project. We're in the process.
The roof, perhaps.
The roof.
Yes.
And I think that's the two biggest issues we have right now are roofs and lighting. We took care of the exterior lighting. The roofs are a huge step. I mean, we're looking at $800,000-900,000 to do 2 roofs on both the big fire stations, and also a lighting project inside to convert to LED, which is going to be huge. A lot of the lights inside here don't work, and we're working right now with a grant that we just received from the volunteers to convert the engine bay here into LED lighting. So we're hoping that kicks off in the next month or two.
Yep, and I'll just add, the city is committed to funding its fire stations and rebuilding the fire stations after years of neglect. We've been able to save up a bit of a nest egg of a fund balance in the city, and we've developed a capital improvement plan which is going to help fund those projects. But equally important is investment in our stations by the community, by volunteer groups like you see before us, by our partners at Deloitte. So all of it is coming together just as the department is beginning to grow. We've got some new equipment, all sorts of exciting changes here in Harrisburg.